Hello everyone, welcome back to another Roots devlog in commentary video form once again due to popular demand. I thought you guys were getting sick of this style of video, but the second that I decided to go to a text post, everybody was telling me that they missed the videos, so here I am making them again. I don't mind, of course, I actually quite like making these. It's a simple format, but it works. Now, on to the progress. So, as many of you know, I've been quite busy with work and life and blah blah blah, all that nonsense. I don't need to dump it here. But I have been able to make some decent progress on the server. One of the main things that I've been doing lately is working on the map. So in one of my previous videos, I mentioned that Ben was working on it, and that it was based on an old concept map that Valve made for City 17 in the early stages of development for Half-Life 2. I'm still using that same concept map from before. However, this version is a bit different than the one you saw before, because I've started over and taken it in a little bit different direction myself. The space is a bit more condensed, and generally is a little better suited to having smaller number of people on the server. Roots is not some gigantic 128 player server, nor is it a sandbox map. So I try to be careful about using too much space, which can be very easy to do in something like Hammer. Generally, I like to keep things pretty claustrophobic because I feel like that adds to the atmosphere. At least, that's how I design the city. When it comes to the open world areas of Roots, it's a totally opposite design philosophy. It's okay if it feels large and open and abandoned. It's about exploration and survival that adds to the experience. This version of the map currently has a functioning route that connects the 6 major blocks within the city. There are long paths that go between key areas that involve lots of interaction between players, each of which is going to be constantly monitored by civil protection, some of which would be standing guard, others roaming the city in an APC. This includes the starting area, a train checkpoint where you dismount and initially join the server. This is called the line by civil protection, and running the line is called line duty. It's one of the more boring jobs, but it's also one of the most important. However, I think you guys will see that boredom can very quickly spiral out of hand and turn into chaos. I've purposefully designed certain areas of the map to be imperfect to enhance gameplay. I also try to make every area of the city important in some way. Even though it is quite large and sprawling, I try to make everything have some kind of a purpose. Even if it is just a random back alley somewhere. It might be a shortcut for civil protection, or an access point to load materials. As of now, the map currently includes the main city, which also includes the abandoned area across the canal, the refugee hideout far across the canals, and some large open areas that are going to be used to create both the canals and the coastline respectively. Without having done any cleanup, or major decoration, I'm currently hovering at around 50% of the total map vertices limit, which is looking pretty good. There is still a lot of detail to be added, but there is also a lot of optimization to be had, so hopefully that number won't creep up terribly quickly. However, it is always the most important limiting factor that I have to watch out for, and ultimately it is going to be the thing that constrains the map the most in Roots. But I will do the best that I can and add to the server what is possible and reasonable. My current goal at the moment is to make some final touches on this very, very early version of the map, and then start working on that character system that I had been organizing. Once I've got some character code and a few administrative utility functions put on the server, then it should be in a good enough state to pop it online and have people run around and tell me what they think of things. It won't be gameplay by any means, but it will be something interactive, and it will be a major step forward. It will be the first time that this new game mode of Roots, having started from the beginning, will be something that people can publicly play and interact with themselves. It's something that I've been, and I suppose everyone has been, looking forward to for a very long time. Too long, in fact. But there's nothing new about hearing me lament not having as much time for Roots as I would like. For the moment, I'm doing what I can, and I'm making good progress so far. I hope to have something presentable for you soon.